So let's look at something a little bit trickier, which is mean, median, mode, and range with frequency tables. Now, a frequency table tells us how many of each number there are. So if we have a 3 and the frequency is 10, that means there is 10 threes. If we have an 8 here, that means we have 8 fours. And here we have 7 fives. So what we have here is we actually have a lot of data, but we can write it in a nice simple way so that we don't have to write a huge long list of 25 different numbers. So how are we going to work out the mean of this frequency table? Well, we could just add everything up, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, etc., but that's going to take a really long time. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to use our times tables because we know there's 10 threes. So in this part here, if we were to add up all the numbers, we would have 3 times 10, which is equal to 30. Here we have 8 fours. So if we add all these up, we're going to go 4 times 8 is 32. And here we have 7 fives. Oops. Let's keep it in order. So 5 times 7, which is equal to 35. So we have 30, 32, and 35. Now, when we are working out the mean, we need to know how many numbers there are and how much they add up to. So what we can do now is we can now add all these numbers up. So here we have 7, and here we have 3, 6, 9. So all of these numbers add up to 97. Let's just quickly go over what I did. I have the number 3, and I have 10 of them. So I did 3 times 10, and we got the total in that row. Then here, we have 8 lots of 4. So I did 4 times 8 is 32. And here we have 7 fives. So I did 5 times 7 is 35, and then I added them all together. So that gives me the total. Now, how many numbers are there all together? Well, what you can do down here is we can add a total part. So all up, there is 10 plus 8 plus 7, which is 25. So we know that there is 25 pieces of data. Now to work out the mean, we just need the total and the total number of data. So let's write that here. So the mean is equal to 97 divided by 25. Now, unfortunately, I can't pull out my phone. It doesn't work like that in VR, so you can work this out. And if you want to get a number, you can put that into calculator, and you should get a number that's almost 4. So it'll be about, I don't know, 3.8, 3.9. To work out the median, that's a little bit trickier because we don't have the data in order in our frequency table. To save time, I've already written the next question up. Median. So how would we find the median of this data? Well, we need to find the middle. Now, this is a lot of data. We know there's 25 things in total. So what we can do is we can use the total to find the middle piece of data. The formula to find the middle piece of data is the total number of data plus 1 divided by 2 to find where that piece of data is. So let's do this over here. So we have So the formula for the median is total plus 1 divided by 2. So that gives us 25 plus 1 divided by 2 is equal 26 divided by 2, which is just equal 13. So that means that the 13th piece of data is our median. So let's have a look here. Where is our 13th piece of data? Well, we have 10 here. 11, 12, 13. So that means that the 13th piece of data is a 4. So the median for this data is 4. Now, how would you get the mode for this? Well, the mode is the most common number. So what's the most common number? Well, 3 has the biggest frequency, so then a 3 must be the mode. Let's write that down. Now, we can do one more thing. We need to find the range. So how would you find the range? It's the biggest number minus the smallest number. So the range is going to be 5 minus 3, which is 2. So we use the numbers for the range, not the frequency. So let's write that down. Alright, we now have our mean, our median, mode, and range for this frequency table. Now, one more thing to be careful of is when you're working out the median using this formula, you can see that we had an even number, so we got a whole number at the end. However, in the case that you have an even number, that's going to give you an odd number. So if we change a few things, so let's just change this to 26. So that's going to mean that this here is 27. Now, 27 divided by 2 is 13.5. Now that means we're going to have 2 numbers for our middle, which we're then going to have to work out the mean of. So if we ended up with, let's just change this to an 8, but for the sake of it, and now we have 26 pieces of data, that means that the middle piece of data is going to be numbers 13 and 14. 13 and 14 are both in 4, so that means that the median, again, is 4.